सुप्रभात आप सभी को। कक्षा 11वीं बायोटेक स्ट्रीम, यह सप्ताह हिंदी पखवाड़ा चल रहा है। आप सबको ज्ञात है कि आपको कोई ना कोई एक क्रियाकलाप प्रस्तुत करना है। तो आज कौन प्रस्तुत करेंगे, नाम बताइए।
योगेश कुमार।
योगेश अपनी प्रस्तुति करेंगे। तो योगेश अपना कौन सा कविता है?
नहीं सर, विचार है।
विचार प्रस्तुत करने जा रहे हैं।
जिंदगी इतनी मुश्किल इसलिए है क्योंकि लोग आसानी से मिली चीज की कीमत नहीं जानते।
पुनः दोहराइए।
जिंदगी इतनी मुश्किल इसलिए है क्योंकि लोग आसानी से मिली चीज की कीमत नहीं जानते।
धन्यवाद योगेश। अगले दिन यशस्वी कुछ विचार लेके या कुछ दोहे लेके या कुछ कविता लेके प्रस्तुत करेंगे। कोई एक नई कविता या कोई नया दोहा, कुछ भी आप प्रस्तुत करेंगे। यशस्वी, आप सुन रहे हैं बात को?
हाँ सर।
हाँ बिल्कुल। कल मतलब कल सुबह करना है। कल सुबह मतलब 8 बजे, 8 बजे आपकी कक्षा होगी, ठीक है?
हाँ जी सर।
हाँ ओके। नाउ yes, so today again good morning to all of you. Today I am going to discuss about animal tissue. Okay, so I have already discussed about the epithelial tissue, group of cells that perform a specific function that is known as tissue. So there are two type of tissue. One is a plant tissue and animal tissue. I have already covered the plant tissue, and in animal tissue I have also covered the epithelial tissue. Okay, so in epithelial tissue you will find squamous epithelial. Okay, then what is the function of epithelial tissue? It has protective, it has absorption, it has a digestion, and there are so many function of that epithelial tissue. Okay, now on the basis of say there is a classification of epithelial tissue. Okay, next you will find the muscular tissue. There are three type of muscular tissue. One is aspirated muscular tissue, one is unaspirated muscular tissue, and third is cardiac tissue. You know, aspirated muscular tissue, that is present in the muscles present on the bone. Okay, so biceps and tricep muscles, that are aspirated muscles. Okay, and on aspirated muscle generally present in the inner. Yes
सर, जो पेपर होंगे अभी उनमें सिलेबस कहाँ तक का है?
हाँ, सिलेबस जो भी पेपर होगा उसमें जहां तक मैंने पढ़ाया वही सिलेबस होगा, ठीक है?
सर मतलब लगभग कितने चैप्टर्स हो जाएंगे? ये वाला चैप्टर खत्म हो
लगभग
जाएगा?
2 चैप्टर, जैसे फर्स्ट चैप्टर मैंने कंप्लीट किया, वो फर्स्ट चैप्टर रहेगा, सेकंड ये चैप्टर रहेगा। जितना तक मैं पढ़ा दूंगा बोल दूंगा कि यहाँ तक पूछना है, ठीक है? तो यस, तो ये एस्क्रिएटेड मसल टिश्यू का एक स्पेशल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर है कि दे आर वॉलेंट्री मसल्स। व्हाट डू मीन बाय वॉलेंट्री, कोई बताएगा? कोई बता सकता है कि वॉलेंट्री मसल क्या है? दैट कैन
सर वो हमारी मर्जी से काम करते हैं।
as per our will, means that will move as per our will, that is known as voluntary muscle, that is aspirated muscle. So where is aspirated muscle present? On the skeleton, on the bone. You will find the aspirated muscles present on the bone, and it is voluntary movement of the body, means as per our wish we can move that muscles. Okay, and you must remember the shape, that is the long, cylindrical, multinucleated. So that is the characteristic feature. You can observe that aspirated muscle, that is longer and cylindrical in shape. Do you know cylindrical? What is the shape of cylindrical? You know already in mathematics. Then multinucleated. What do you mean by multinucleated? Means there is more than one nucleus. Okay, So that is in one cell, that is known as multinucleus. Elongated, long cylindrical elongated. So just try to know the meaning of long cylindrical and multinucleated, and generally attach on the bone. You see your biceps and triceps muscles. That is the examples, that is the example of the uh, aspirated muscles. Aspirated muscle, that is a skeletal muscle. So this is in the middle you will find the aspirated muscles. In the middle you will find the aspirated muscle. Next is unaspirated muscle. What is the shape of unaspirated muscle? That is a spindle shape. You see that this one is the spindle shape. Okay, so there is broadening at the middle and tapering at the end, and only one nucleus. So it is not a cylindrical tap. It is a special shape, that is a spindle shape, but it is cylindrical shape. Okay, long, cylindrical, and multinucleated. More than one nucleus is present in one cell. Okay, so that is the case, and you will find the striation means band, light and dark band. You will find light and dark band. Such thing you cannot observe in unaspirated muscle. That is a spindle shape muscle. Generally present where it is present, unaspirated muscles. You will find in alimentary canal. In your digestive system, you will find such type of unaspirated muscle, that is also known as a smooth muscle. S for smooth and S for spindle. Okay, so on the basis of the shape, you can remember a spindle shape tissue, and it is uninucleated. One of the most important characteristic feature is one nucleus. That is a characteristic feature of unaspirated muscle. Means they know light and dark band. You will not find lining. Okay, and where it is present, alimentary canal, digestive system, inner wall of alimentary canal, blood vessels means the vessels where it is present, lumen. Inside that you will find that type of muscle tissue, that is alimentary canal. The second is blood vessels, and bronchus, it is also lumen of the lungs. Iris of eyes, iris muscles present in the eye. So that is help in involuntary movement. It will not move as per your will. So always remember example of unaspirated muscles, that is inner lining of alimentary canal, inner lining of blood vessels, inner lining of bronchus. Alveoli is the smallest unit of lungs, and a group of alveoli make lungs, and lungs then open in the V shape structure. So that common pathway, that is known as bronchus. Okay, so through which the air is passing, oxygen is entering through this bronchus up to lungs, and carbon dioxide is going out through this bronchus only, and that will come up to nostril. Okay, so you will find such type of unaspirated muscle, that is also known as smooth muscles, because they know light and dark band is present. Presence of aspiration means band, and that is the characteristic feature of striated muscles. Generally it is voluntary muscles. What is the characteristic feature? Shape, size, long, cylindrical, multinucleated. And what is the shape, size of the striated muscle? That is spindle shape. A spindle shape means tapering at the end and broadening at the middle, and then it is uninucleated, and that is long. It is also long, uninucleated, and a spindle shape. There is no spindle shape of aspirated muscle. Only a spindle shape present in case of aspirated muscle. But if you observe the cardiac muscle, the some characteristic feature come from the unaspirated muscles, like involuntary muscles. That is the characteristic feature of the unaspirated muscle, that is coming in the cardiac tissue from the unaspirated muscles, that is from the smooth muscles. And have faint aspiration, means aspiration is band, that is present. That character is coming from aspirated muscle in case of cardiac muscle. So this character is coming from unaspirated muscle, that is involuntary muscles, and the faint aspiration means band, that is coming from aspirated muscles. And long cylindrical multinucleated also coming from the characteristic feature of aspirated muscles. but there is something different, that is branching. Branching never occur in aspirated muscles and on aspirated muscles. So you will find such type of characteristic feature, new characteristic feature only present in cardiac muscles. Okay, so try to know the shape, size, and then presence of light and dark band. Generally, presence of light and dark band in case of striated muscles. Other name of striated muscle is known as voluntary muscles. Okay, so voluntary muscles you will find on the muscles present on the skeleton, on the bone, and it helps in the movement of your body. And the shape is long, elongated, cylindrical, multinucleated. That is the characteristic feature. But this characteristic feature included also in cardiac muscles: long, cylindrical, multinucleated. And one feature is that of the cardiac muscle is that it is branch. This striated muscle is not branch, but cardiac muscle is branch. These are present in heart. Cardiac, where a cardiac muscle is present, it is present in heart and help the contraction and relaxation of heart. So lup and dup sound due to contraction and relaxation of the heart muscle, that is cardiac muscle. You know, cardiac means heart. Cardiology means the doctor who involved with specialist in cardiology, means functioning of heart. Okay, so contraction of heart and relaxation of heart muscles only present due to presence of cardiac muscles. So one of the most important characteristics is multinucleated and intercalated disc. That is the one of the prominent feature of cardiac muscles. So you will find that characteristic intercalated disc. ये जो है intercalated disc सिर्फ cardiac muscle में होता है. अगर आप कह देंगे कि skeletal muscle में होता है, no, it is not present. And you will find long cylindrical, both skeletal muscle, that is striated muscles, and cardiac muscle. So you will find the faint striation means band in case of cardiac muscle, but clear cut dark and light band you will find in uh, skeletal muscle. Such type of band it is absent in case of unstriated muscles. So can you differentiate the type of muscles? Anyone? अथर्वा, आप डिफरेंशिएट कर सकते हो कि क्या क्या डिफरेंस है स्ट्रेटेड मसल्स में, अनस्ट्रेटेड मसल्स में और कार्डियक मसल्स में? एनीवन प्लीज रिप्लाई. अथर्वा, यस, यस, रिप्लाई. हाँ, जोर से बोलिए कि क्या डिफरेंस है स्ट्रेटेड मसल में, अनस्ट्रेटेड मसल्स में, कार्डियक मसल, क्या डिफरेंस?
सर जो
सर स्मूथ, कौन बोल रहा है?
अथर्व
सर अथर्व बोले या योगेश बोले?
अथर्व बोलेगा.
यस,
अच्छा, अथर्व बोलेगा सर, अथर्व बोलेगा.
अथर्व बोलो.
सर कार्डियक मसल में जो है मल्टी न्यूक्लिएटेड होती है.
यस, लेकिन स्केलेटल मसल भी मल्टी न्यूक्लिएटेड होती है, पता है ना आपको?
यस सर, यस सर.
तो क्या डिफरेंस है?
सर वो हार्ट में होती है सर कार्डियक मसल.
और ये स्केलेटल मसल?
सर ये हर जगह मिल जाती है आपको लगभग.
दूसरा डिफरेंस क्या है?
सर दूसरा, जो स्केलेटल मसल्स है वो ब्रांच नहीं होती, कार्डियक मसल्स ब्रांच्ड होती हैं.
तीसरा डिफरेंस क्या है?
सर तीसरा डिफरेंस, कार्डियक मसल पे बैंड्स होते हैं, स्केलेटल मसल पे नहीं होते.
कार्डियक मसल पे भी फेंट बैंड होते हैं, स्केलेटल मसल पे प्रोमिनेंट बैंड होता है, लाइट बैंड एंड डार्क बैंड. ओके, बट थर्ड डिफरेंस इज दैट इंटरकैलेटेड डिस्क. जो दिख रहा है आपको, इंटरकैलेटेड डिस्क इज द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर ऑफ कार्डियक मसल्स. ब्रांचिंग ओनली अकर इन कार्डियक मसल. दो जो मोस्ट प्रोमिनेंट फीचर है, that is the differentiate from skeletal muscle, is that branching you will find only in cardiac muscles, and second, intercalated disc you will find in case of cardiac muscles. Such thing you will not observe in skeletal muscle. Rest other is common. Multinucleated, both are multinucleated. Cylindrical, both are cylindrical. Then elongated, both are elongated. Next, can you compare the what characteristic feature present in the cardiac muscles that is coming from skeletal muscles. कुछ ऐसा कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर है जो कार्डियक मसल में है, वो आया है कहां से? स्केलेटल मसल से। कौन कौन सा है? बताइए, कौन बताएगा इसको? प्लीज रिप्लाई। आर यू लिसनिंग माय साउंड?
सर क्या बताना है?
मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि कार्डियक मसल में कुछ कैरेक्टर स्केलेटल मसल्स का है। कौन कौन सा कैरेक्टर है जो कि स्केलेटल मसल से आया?
सर एक तो मल्टी न्यूक्लिएटेड।
इट इज एब्सोल्युटली राइट। सेकंड?
दोनों
सर
में
बैंड होते हैं दोनों में।
दोनों में बैंड होता है। सो दैट इज द मोस्ट प्रोमिनेंट फीचर। एंड शेप, शेप क्या है? सिलेंड्रिकल शेप।
सिलेंडर
Cylindrical shape, that is common in both elongated and cylindrical shape, that is present in cardiac muscle, that is characteristic, actual characteristic feature of a skeletal muscle. So cardiac muscle, can you tell me which character is coming from cardiac from a smooth muscles? कौन सा characteristic feature cardiac muscles का smooth muscle से आया? Reply. Everybody, yes, yes.
सर ब्रांचेस।
No branching is there is no branching in case of a smooth muscle on aspirated muscles. I am talking about which character is coming from a smooth on aspirated muscles inside the cardiac muscles. कौन सा कैरेक्टर स्मूथ मसल्स का आया है कार्डियक मसल्स?
सर इनवॉलेंट्री मसल है।
This is the absolutely correct answer. Means involuntary muscle है. Skeletal muscle is voluntary muscles, but a smooth muscle is involuntary muscle. Means it will not work as per your will. It will work as per their will, but it will not work as per your will. The same character is of the cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscle, you say stop, it will not stop. You say you start, it will not start. It will work continuously after birth or during inside your mother womb. Okay, जब आप अपने मम्मी के ओम में थे तभी ये काम करना शुरू कर दिया। जब से आपका ऑरिजिन हुआ तो inside your mother womb they are functioning and it will continue till death. Okay, ये नहीं कि stop then it will stop. But a skeletal muscle, you can command your skeletal muscle stop, then stop, up then up, down then down, such thing. So you have to you must know what are the character that is coming from the smooth muscle inside the cardiac muscle, what are the character coming from the skeletal muscle that is inside the cardiac muscles. So a smooth muscle is unaspirated muscle, that is involuntary muscle. A skeletal muscle is that is the aspirated muscles. A skeletal muscle is aspirated muscle, that is voluntary muscles. And cardiac muscle that have mixture of both the characters, means multinucleated branching. You will can explain a shape that is coming from a skeletal muscle, that is uh, in case of skeletal muscle, but involuntary character coming from the smooth muscle. So you have to differentiate, you have to know what is the difference between cardiac muscles, skeletal muscles, and a smooth muscle. Okay, now come to the connective tissue. Then connective tissue connect and join the different part of your body. You know what are different connective tissue? First is blood, second is bone, third is ligament, fourth is tendon, and fifth is areolar tissue, and sixth is adipose tissue. Okay, so you know blood, that is a connective tissue, contain the fluid, that is a plasma. You know plasma, if you are going to remove the RBC, WBC platelet, then it is known as plasma, blood plasma. Okay, so blood contain the plasma, RBC, WBC, and blood platelet. So it will transport the gas, digested food, hormones, and waste materials from one part of the body to other part of the body. So generally it will transport the oxygen as well as carbon dioxide. That transport the oxygen from lungs to heart and heart to all part of your, and carbon dioxide from all the part of body to heart and heart to lungs. That is the main function. And also distribute the nutrient, hormones and other minerals in your body for growth of the cell. So that is the main function. That is also a connective fluid matrix. It is a fluid connective tissue. Okay. Next is bone. Bone, you can observe the your human skeleton. So it is hard, very strong, made up of calcium, phosphorus. Okay. So it consists of the cell which are embedded in hard matrix contain calcium and phosphorus compound. So what is required for the bone formation? Vitamin D. You know, vitamin D play a vital role for bone formation. So vitamin D, it will help in absorption of calcium. If you are eating the calcium rich food, it will not absorb if you have deficiency of vitamin D. So you always expose your body in sunlight. Sun bath is essential for synthesis of vitamin D. Otherwise, you can eat the fish, you can eat fish oil. So that is the source of vitamin D. Okay, and you can also eat mushroom like that. So that is provide the calcium and phosphorus and form the bones. Okay, so bone form the framework of the body, support the body and organ. They are going to connect each other. There is a human skeletal system that is going to connect through a strong material, that is the hard tissue, that is known as bone, and it is rich of calcium and phosphorus. So do you know why vitamin D is important? Can you reply the answer? Why vitamin D is important for you? Are you listening my son? आवाज आ रही है?
बोन्स के लिए सर।
मीन्स बोन्स के लिए नहीं, मैं ये कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि अगर आप कैल्शियम रिच फूड खाते हो, फिर भी आपका कैल्शियम आपके बॉडी में जाएगा। क्यों? क्योंकि वो एब्जॉर्ब नहीं करेगा जब तक आपके बॉडी में विटामिन डी नहीं है। Okay, so vitamin D or D3, that is helpful for absorption of calcium in your body, phosphorus. So that is when you are eating vitamin D rich food, or you are going to expose your body in sunlight, then there is synthesis of vitamin D. So sufficient amount of vitamin D is essential for absorption of calcium. If there is no absorption of calcium, there is no bone formation, there is no stronging of bone, and you will suffer from osteoporosis. Do you know what is osteoporosis? A very fine pore, large number of fine pore will develop in your bone and it become fragile. Okay, so that is essential. So bone is a hard and a strong tissue. Bone is a hard and a strong tissue, and which are embedded in hard matrix contain what? Calcium and phosphorus. Next connective tissue, that is known as ligaments. You know, LLB. You have to remember ligament. LLB, LBB, LBB. You have to remember LBB. कैसे याद रखना है? LBB. What do you mean? L for ligament, B for bone, B for bone. So ligament join bone to bone. What is a requirement for joining between two bone? That is ligament. So ligament that is present between your two bone, that is in case of your knee, in case of your hip joint, in case of your elbow, that is joined together only due to presence of ligaments. So these are a flexible tissue which join together and help in movements of the bones. Okay, so two bone are joined together only presence of ligament and help in movement of your different bone that is joined together. Okay, next is tendon. Tendon means MB, TMB. Tendon M join the muscles and bone. LBB. What do you mean LBB? L for ligament, B for bone, B for bone. Means ligament join bone to bone. It will come in your competitive exam. That's why I'm telling you. Means ligament is helpful for joining the bone to bone. and tendon, that is a special type of connective tissue, fibrous tissue. It is a ligament is a flexible tissue that is join bone and bone, help in movement. And tendon is fibrous tissue which join muscle to bone. TMB. What do you mean T? T for tendon, M for muscles, B for bone. And it also help in movement of your body parts. Okay. So these are the different type of connective tissue. One is blood, one is bone, one is ligaments, one is tendon. Next is areolar tissue. Where is areolar tissue present? Between your skin and your muscle. So where the muscles is present, above that the topmost layer is skin. So between that there is a presence of what type of tissue? That is areolar tissue. Inside the organ, where it is present? Between your skin and your muscles. Try to observe where is muscles? Biceps muscles, triceps muscles, and outer layer of your present on your muscles, that is skin. So between skin and muscles you will find the what tissue? That is known as areolar tissue. And where it is also present? Inside the organ, around the blood vessels. So it help to repair the tissue. It help to repair the main function of areolar tissue is just to repair your tissue at the time of breakage, at the time of rupturing, at the time of damage. Next is adipose tissue, where you will find the adipose tissue. Generally adipose tissue, that is that contain fatty tissue that is present between skin and internal organs. Okay, so where adipose tissue present? On the breast you will find the adipose tissue generally present on the breast, that is the fatty tissues. And on the nose, on your nose also present adipose tissue. Okay, so on the breast there is the presence of adipose tissue, and on your nose there is also presence of adipose. So these are the different type of connective tissue. Blood, so blood will connect and distribute the carbon dioxide and oxygen, means collect the carbon dioxide from all the part of body to the heart and heart to lungs, and distribute the oxygen through hemoglobin to all the part. Other function, also distribute the nutrients, hormones, minerals to all the part of the cell of your body. It is the main function is transportation. So it is also a fluid connective tissue. And bone, it is a solid hard connective tissue that contain calcium and phosphorus in rich amount. And you have already discussed the ligament LBB. What is the function of ligament? कोई बताएगा? LBB. What do you mean by L?
सर सर लिगामेंट बोन टू बोन जोड़ता है.
Very good. Or TMB. Explain TMB. T for tendon. M.
टेंडन मसल बोन को जोड़ेगा.
तो आपको एक याद रखना है तो दूसरा याद रहेगा. लिगामेंट LBB. LBB मीन्स लिगामेंट बोन टू बोन को कनेक्ट करेगा. और TMB टेंडन मसल्स टू बोन को कनेक्ट करेगा. तो वेयर द मसल्स इज प्रेजेंट, दैट इज गोइंग टू अटैच adhere to the surface of the bone. That is the main function is done by tendon. Areolar tissue कहाँ होता है? Between, where areolar tissue present? Between your muscles. Muscles आपके बोन पे है.
स्किन एंड मसल.
And skin. Outermost layer is skin and muscles. तो जैसा जहां पे मसल स्टॉप हो जाएगा उसके ऊपर में जो स्पेस है वहां पे कौन सा टिश्यू होगा? एरियोलर टिश्यू. एंड लास्ट लाइनिंग है स्किन का. सो दैट इज हेल्प इन रिपेयर, that is help in repair at the time of rupturing, at the time of breakage of your tissue. And adipose tissue generally present in the between the skin and between the internal organs, and generally present in the internal organ as well as on the breast portion. Okay, so these are the main function, that is the connective tissue. Okay, so try to know these are the what is connective tissue, what are the different type of connective tissue. Just see in the slide. Component of blood, you know what is the pH of blood? 7.4. What is the pH of blood? 7.4. So you will find the liquid that is known as matrix at that contain huge quantity of minerals, hormones, vitamins, and so many proteins. Okay, and so many essential components. And you will find some cell that is RBC, red blood cell, and the life of RBC. What is the life of RBC? 120 days. WBC, a white blood cell that help in fighting against germ, and then plasma, that is a liquid. So that is the, if you are going to remove the blood platelets, what is the function of blood platelet? It will prevent the bleeding, means it will help in blood clotting. Okay, so they, if there is a cut mark on your body surface, bleeding will start. How bleeding is going to check? Due to presence of blood platelet. If you have deficiency of blood platelet, bleeding will continue and whole blood of your body will come out. So if there is no sufficient amount of blood platelet, then you have to take the food that is richest source of blood platelet. Okay, so you can also take the juice of the papaya leaf for blood platelet, then kiwi fruit for blood platelet. Okay, so you must know what is the function of blood platelet and what is the function of RBC. What is the function of RBC? It will carry the oxygen. Function of RBC, it will carry the oxygen with
सर आरबीसी
hemoglobin.
में हीमोग्लोबिन होता है ना
Yes. So it is most important part of your blood. If you have less number of RBC, means hypoxia condition of your body, means anoxia. Hypoxia means no supply of sufficient amount of oxygen, and your cell will not active. Okay. So that number of sufficient number of RBC essential for the growing child. Okay, and plasma that contain all the richest nutrient. Okay, then white blood cell that is phagocytic, means it will kill the uh, microbes if it will enter into your body through the blood. Okay, so generally these are the different components of blood, that is blood platelet, then RBC, then white blood cell. RBC means red blood cell. Okay, so generally it is without nucleus. RBC is without nucleus. Only exception is that in camel you will find the nucleus RBC, nucleated RBC. Okay, except that all are nucleated. RBC is without nucleus and rest other are nucleated. You will find neutrophil, eosinophil, basophil, lymphocyte, monocytes, platelet, erythrocytes. So these are the different component of blood, and the pH of blood is generally 7.4. Okay. Now come to ligaments and tendon, LBB. So what is the function of LBB? L, ligaments, that is going to attach the bone to bone, means two bone are joined only due to presence of ligament. Just see, this is the ligament bone, this bone is second bone, third bone, so that is joined due to presence of bone, that is ligaments. Okay, and next is tendon. You know biceps muscle, triceps muscle. Biceps on the upper end it is biceps, on the lower side it is triceps. This is the bicep muscle. So this is the skeletal muscles, and that is joined together by tendon, TMB. So that is, M means muscles that is going to attach with the bone. Okay, so try to know the function of each type of connective tissue. Next you will find areolar tissue. That type of tissue, generally these are the bone tissue, and this is the areolar tissue. This one is the areolar tissue, and this is the bone tissue. Okay, so try to know that is generally areolar tissue, that is protective in nature, that help repair, that is present between the muscles and skin. And you will find that is the matrix. Inside that you will find the calcium and phosphorus, that is the solid in nature, that is bone tissue is solid in nature. Okay, so such type of tissue that is come in the category of connective tissue. Next is nervous tissue. You know all other tissue is dividing after birth, but nervous tissue will not divide. You remember these things. Whatever it is divided it will divide only inside the mother womb. So you have to supply the sufficient nutrient when there is a growing baby inside any mother. After that, no proper development of nerve cell. Nerve cell will develop inside the mother womb only. So if you know, yes, are you listening? Yes, it is clear to all of you. Are you listening?
आपकी आवाज कट गई थी।
अभी कट गई थी ना, मुझे भी लग रहा था कि आवाज कट रही है. तो now it is audible. Now come to yes. Now it is audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, nervous tissue help to carry the message from one part of the body to other part. That is a stimulus. Means whatever the message is passing through the nerve. Main function is the transmission of information from one part of the body to the other part of the body. When you are touching any object, how it is able to know? Due to presence of nerve, active nerves.
सर
That
आपकी
is,
आवाज बीच बीच में अटक रही है.
yes, it may be net problem. Okay, so you will find uh, this is the structure of nerve cell. This is the structure of nerve cell. You will find a nucleus and cytoplasm. Okay, it is the nerve cell. Okay, and you will find hair like a structure called dendrites. You will find hair like a structure, it is known as dendrite, and you will find the nucleus, and that cell body, that is known as axon. Cell body, that is known as axon. Okay, and covering of the cell body, that is axon, is known as myelin sheath. The covering of the axon, that is through myelin sheath. And you will find node of Ranvier. This point is known as node of Ranvier, that is the structure of nerve cell. And Schwann cell, you will find the Schwann cell, and then synapses, axon terminal. So joint between the two nerve cells, that is known as synapses. You will find this is the synapses, junction between two nerve cells. So all the nerve cells that are joined together, when you are touching any object, your brain will tell that what object it is. Actually it is. So that junction between two nerve cell is known as synapses. Junction between two nerve cell, it is known as synapses. Now always remember this diagram and draw this diagram, that is the hair like structure, that is known as dendrites, and the nucleus inside, where it is present in the nerve cell inside the dendrites region. And this is the cell body, whole structure that covered with the hair like a structure, that is known as cell body. And axon, that is elongated region of the nerve cell, and that axon is covered with a layer, that layer is known as myelin sheath. Myelin sheath. Okay, and then Schwann cell, uh, that second last penultimate cell, that is known as Schwann cell, and the junction of the second last cell, that is known as node of Ranvier. And you will find the terminal end, that is the axon. This is dendron, and this is axon. And the junction between two nerve cells, junction between two nerve cell, where the axon and dendrite is joining. Axon of one cell, nerve cell, and dendrite of other nerve cell is joining. That joining is known as synapses. So synapses, it is a junction between two nerve cell. Means junction between two nerve cell, that is known as synapses. And you will find acetylcholine esterase enzyme. Acetylcholine esterase is esterase, that is helpful for transmission of nerve. Whatever the information, when you are touching a snake, your brain will tell it is a snake. When you are touching any cold, then your brain will tell it is cold. When you are touching any harmful material, then after closing your eye, your brain will tell don't touch it. When you are touching any hot material, your brain will tell don't touch it. Why? Due to presence of active nerve cell. Due to presence of active nerve cell. So brain will command whether you have to touch any material or not. So how you are getting that information? Due to presence of nerve connection. So all these nerve cells, they are connected together through the synapses. On the synapses or on the junction, there is enzyme acetylcholine esterase that help in transmission of nerve impulse. Due to transmission of nerve impulse from external environment to the brain, up to the brain, we are able to give the response. Brain will give the command that you have to do the such type of activity. When you are walking in front of the you, snake is coming, what you will do? You will jump, you will back down. Okay, so back you will be back means आप रिटर्न हो जाएंगे जब आप देखेंगे कि कुछ ना कुछ हार्मफुल डेंजरस सब्सटेंस है. So that is the responsibility of nerve cell to convey the message from external environment to the brain, and brain will come on to your body that what action you have to do. So this is the function of nerve cell. Nerve cell help to carry the message from one part of the body to other part to respond the stimulus. What type of stimulus is coming from the environment? It is found in the brain, spinal cord, and the nerve. Where the nerve cell is present? In the brain, in the spinal cord, in the nerve. So it consists of nerve cell. ये किससे बना हुआ है? Nerve cell से बना हुआ. Okay. So all of you must go through the connective tissue. First muscular tissue, then connective tissue, then nerve tissue. Thank you. Any question?